This is Stuart Bray at learnprostheticmakeup.com with a short video to show you how you can make a great set of nasty nails. Now these nails are very easily made using simple materials that you can get from an office supply store or a stationer's, so there's nothing special about these. And the whole set will take approximately 1 or 2 hours depending on how complicated you want to make them. Okay, the stuff you're going to need a clear plastic presentation cover, the kind you use on school essays and such. A cylindrical object such as a utensil handle or a piece of wood, some strong tape, some thread, scissors, a thin tip Sharpie marker, hot and cold water. You're going to need an emery board or sandpaper, black and brown inks, a small paintbrush and some double-sided tape. Okay, let's go to work. Okay, first up is to cut the plastic to fit onto the handle and then secure it with the duct tape or the gaffer tape so that it can't come away easily. Then tightly wrap the plastic around the handle and then secure it with some thread. I'm just using some black cotton. Fasten the end with a little piece of tape just to stop it from unravelling when it goes into the water. Next, fill a jug with some boiling water and put the plastic and the handle in and leave it for about a minute or so. Then take it out and pop it straight into the cold water and leave it to cool for a moment. Take the handle out and then take off the thread. You should be left with a nice tube of rolled up plastic that will happily spring back to shape when you let it go. And okay, this is exactly what our nails will be made of. So the next thing to do is to cut it up into strips wide enough to cover your real nails. Here is my pile of curved plastic ready to go. Next, take a fine marker or a soft pencil, I'm using a Sharpie marker here, and trace the outline of the real nail through the plastic. I also mark a point just above where I want the fake nail to go up to and then fill it in, just drawing the whole outline to meet up to it. I also wrote which finger it belongs to and I numbered them so that I could easily identify them later. Okay, here are the 5 roughed out nails ready to go. Next, trim them to size and offer them up just to check the fit. Using an emery board or some fine sandpaper or wet and dry paper, you can then refine the outer shape, just sand it down. I'm also using the emery board to roughen the nail surface too. Okay, check the fit again. You can also bend the nail just to help it fit better. Next, I used a coarse sandpaper. I'm using some wet and dry paper here to really scratch up the surface of the nail. Use a blade or a craft knife or a scalpel or something to make a series of small cuts on the inside of the nail at the tip, just to give it a kind of a frayed, split look. Now you can trim into these with the scissors just to make this a little more effective. Okay, this is our set, trimmed and ready, and it's got enough curve to sit on a real nail. Okay, so we just need to paint them. I'm just using simple acrylic inks to paint these. You can use acrylic inks or paints. I'm using FW brand acrylic inks, sepia brown and black, and a small paintbrush and some water. Okay, first I thin a little of each colour with some water, and then I just give a very thin basic wash over the whole surface and let it dry. I'm only painting the upper outside surface. Once it's dried, you can carefully apply thin ink, the same as before, just to create the pale half moon shape of the nail. Then I use a little bit of black just to darken the edges, the outer edges, and apply it more heavily on the inside of the tips as if there's dirt under the fingernails. Offer it up to see how it looks, and the painting's done. Okay, next we need to fix the nails on. So what you want to do is get your double-sided tape. I've got some toupe tape, if you can get that from a pharmacy or a wig supply is very good. Cut the tape to shape so it fits your real nail. It might be a good idea to wipe your nails clean just to check there's no sort of grease or dirt on there. Carefully press it in place and peel the backing away, and it should leave the tape behind. Firmly press the nail in place and it should stick okay. One thing you might want to do is add a slightly glossy sort of top coat to it if you don't want the nails to look too matte. I'm just using a store-bought top coat. You can get this from wherever you can find nail varnishes and cosmetics. Brush it on to get the shine back, and you can pat the excess off with a bit of tissue to just control how glossy it looks. I fancy cranking it up a notch, so I just made the nails up with a bit of makeup, and I'm going to add some drying blood paste called Scab into the corners. I smear this into the groove around the nail bed with a little sculpting tool, and then dab it with a tissue to get a nice broken up messy effect. Once you've done that, you're good to go. To remove the nails, carefully peel them away and remove the tape by picking it off. If you're careful, the nails can be reused. If you want to know more about making prosthetics and creating makeup effects, be sure to visit my site and get the articles and tutorials, and there's also a free mini course that's available for you to download right away. Feel free to get in touch if you have any questions. This is Stuart Bray. I hope you have a great day, and thanks for taking the time to watch this.